Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am PANCZASU, the mighty MIG spammer, and welcome to another Endless Space playthrough. Now, if you are new to my channel, then, well, welcome, and I hope you are going to have fun. You need to know that I tend to play Endless Space in hardcore ways, as in using the endless difficulty and also playing with a bunch of imaginary role-playing custom rules to make things even a little bit harder for me. Some people say that they learned something from me, so apparently I'm reasonably good with that stuff. So if you're looking for somebody who is horrible with English but does know how to play Endless Space, then well, you are in the right place. Now, I need to answer some other questions that people who are following me for some time already are probably interested in. First of all, the mods. I was asking you whenever I should or should not be using any mods with this playthrough, and the responses were... that's strange. For some reason the Save the Source mod is not here. I don't know why, because I do have it, but now it is gone. Strange. Am I using it right now? No, I'm not. But anyway, talking about Save the Source mod, I asked if I should use it or not, and to be quite honest, most people told me that I should not be using it, which actually kind of surprised me. Funnily enough, most of those people also contacted me via private messages as if they did not want to be revealed, which was kind of strange and funny, but that's okay, understandable. Only a single person actually had the guts to admit it publicly that they did not want me to use any mods. Actually, 2 of them. Or maybe even 3. No, I think only 2. Never mind. Doesn't even matter. So, reason why people don't want Source mod, there are many of them, but reason why I do not really want to use the Save the Source mod is because, well, it might be an official mod, but it is a mod nevertheless, which means that whenever the game itself gets patched up, the mod will be outdated and it will no longer be compatible with the newest release of the game, which could be a problem. Also, it is very unstable, and I already had some difficulties turning it on, and now it's even gone from my mods list for whatever reason, so yeah, I think I will not be using this. However, I will also not be using any other mods. So, for example, first of all, Alternative Galaxy Generator. I love this mod and I wanted to use it. Problem is, even though it says update for Wonders, I made a bunch of tests, played a bunch of games with this mod. I have not seen a single Wonder, which is a problem and a shame because I really do like Wonders, and apparently there is a problem with this mod and it does not use any Wonders. Sad but true. And the last but by no means least, Aggressive AI mod by Isle. It lacks any description whatsoever, but it basically makes AI be A. better, B. more aggressive. As simple as that. I really do like this mod, although it does come with some obnoxious color coding, but I was able to remove it quite easily. It's not exactly high-tech fidelity thing that I had to go through. Not exactly. Problem with Aggressive AI mod is that many people actually ask me to not use any mods at all because they want to see the core gameplay, the game that they have when they buy it, as simple as that. And Aggressive AI, it does improve the AI, but at the same time, with the new recent addition to the game, add-on called Virtual Awakening, the AI of the game is still pretty decent, and it is only going to get better with the patches that are coming soon, as I have been informed. So there is no real need for the Aggressive AI mod. However, this does mean that I'm going to put some, well, home rules on my run to make sure that that even though I will play on endless difficulty, obviously, and on fast, obviously, then I will not have too easy of a time. So, first of all, if I meet any faction before I research any sort of diplomatic relationship tech, for example, the tech that allows you to offer peace or ceasefire negotiations, then I will immediately declare war on said faction. Because, I don't know, I cannot understand the language or they offended me in some way. And I think this fits the lore and fits the gameplay as well, making sure that things are not going to be too easy on me. I'm likely going to go into peace negotiations after some time, but this will make sure that the AI is pretty mad at me and will give me a harder time than usual. Also, I'm going to turn off every victory type aside from Supremacy Victory and the Expansion Victory. Reason for that being, this way I'm pretty sure that the AI is going to focus on, fighting instead of just trying to achieve this cheap wonder victory. And although I do like stuff like diplomatic or economic victory, I think that I want to have a little bit more aggressive playthrough this time around. So give me a second, I need to that's strange. But anyway, I need to make sure if everything is set up the way I want it to be. Seems to be fine. Average exploration events, I like average. Events flag, yeah, why not? Ambient galaxy map, yes please, this makes Galaxy way more amazing than usual. Galaxy seed for events, I actually don't know why I would need that or why I wouldn't need that. And everything seems to be just fine. Let's apply, obviously inside pirates, because hey, pirates are fun to fight against. Now the Galaxy options I'm going to roll with, well, they are going to be as crazy as humanly possible. So I will try and go for the no balance system balancing, for galaxy density to be at high, low star connectivity. What was the number of constellation I like? I forgot. I think I was going for few in my testing, so this is going to be nice. And I'm going to play on this kind of galaxy, which means that it is basically going to be split in half. If I wanted it to be all connected, then I would have to go for unique, and if I wanted the galaxy to be to have starting regions individual for each player, then I would go for many. Few is going to mean that 4 players are next to each other. I mean, without the need for applied Casimir effect technology to actually travel from one place to another in order to meet the other player, which is okay. Home host I will go for high, because we are only going to get like 2 or 3 of them anyway, and this way it is going to add a little bit more strategic depth into the game. Not a lot, but still. Constellation distance close, because, yeah, as I said, there are only going to be 2 constellations, so I might as well have them as close as possible. Planet size random, because hey, why not? Planets per system random. Resources low. I like resources to be low, because it makes people fight for them, rather than just having everybody not care about them. I think it adds a nice amount of strategic depth to get the game. Empire's 8, obviously, age, random size, large, instead of huge. Reason being, because when Galaxy is huge, then you tend to have a ginormous empire to manage, which might not be the most exciting thing when you're watching a video. Also, since I want this playthrough to be more on the war side, I want the empires to start next to each other, so that they are likely to attack each other faster and sooner. And thus, I decided to go for a large galaxy instead of a huge one. It is still going to be pretty big, regardless. Trust me, I have made some tests, and I know what I'm saying. Shape disc, because A, it looks awesome, and B, it looks awesome. And C, it has been a while since we played on a disc. I believe last time we played on a disc was when I played as the Sowers, way back when. I think it was still during the beta days. Yes, indeed it was, quite a long time ago. Obviously, single player playing on multiplayer and recording at the same time is a pretty bad idea for numerous reasons. And now, the thing that I ask you to vote for. I mean. As you can see, I have 9, actually, is that 9, 8, 10, 11, I'm sorry, I have 11 custom factions that I care about. Asari are just placeholder to make sure that I'm separated from other factions, and Varos are just nostalgia faction that I do not play and or care about. Now, I told you that I'm not going to play as Siafu or Templars because I already played as them. So who's left? Who have you voted for me to play as? Well, I can tell you that nobody voted for Chantry, which is a shame. I really wanted kinda to see how I would play as them, because they are kinda hardcore with their food production and everything else not existing, pretty much. And nobody voted for Sujan. Somehow I can understand people, although, yeah, those are living crystals, which makes them amazing. As simple as that. Now, one person voted for Judicators of Lynn, Orpheo Corporation, and what else? And Ouroboros Consortium, I believe. So those 3 factions are at the last place, or second to last place, if we consider the place of Chantry and Sujan to actually exist. I'm very surprised that nobody, I mean, only a single person voted for Ouroboros Consortium, because personally I really like this empire. I really do. And, well, obviously you have not read the books. You know, what is the author of those books? I'll check it at the later date. But anyway, you know, the Hyperion 4, Hyperion etc. books, pretty amazing. Judicators of Lynn, I still don't believe that people are not, voting for them. They're one of the oldest factions that I designed, and they are pretty cool and nifty in my opinion, but still, they don't get a lot of votes of your cooperation. Thank you for not making me play as them, because they are way too underpowered in this current patch anyway. Now, a faction that got... There were 2 factions that got 2 votes. Planarians, which are my babies. They are my second oldest faction, and the first faction I really did care about. So I really do like them quite a bit. They are very interesting, and we're not going to play as them, sadly, but I still like them regardless. And the Radiants, I'm happy that you voted for them as well, those 2 people who voted for them, because Radiants are kinda cool. They are made of antimatter after all. How many races are made of antimatter? Not too many, not too many. But alas, almost nobody voted for them, so we're not going to play as them either, even though they are very interesting and fun to play as, trust me. Now, we're getting to a region where factions are actually have been, getting a quite nice amount of votes, so we are only left with 2 factions, the Pillagers and the Illuminant. And the winner is not the Pillagers. Pillagers got 4 votes, quite a decently nice amount to be quite honest, and I was so close to playing as them, but in all honesty, thank you for not making this. Do you have any idea how hard it is to play as Pillagers? I would get my A kicked, to be quite honest, because they are ridiculously tough to play as. Amazing military, and they would probably provide you with a decent amount of entertainment, granted, because they are very aggressive. They have a very aggressive and interesting playstyle with amazing military and everything absolutely pathetic. But I don't think I'm ready to play as them just yet, let's be honest. So they got 4 votes and Illuminant got 5, which means that I will play as them. Very nice, because I have been looking for an opportunity to show you the Automaton's affinity. It is a very interesting affinity, and it is probably my favorite affinity as well. It is not really overpowered, which is very nice, because there are some affinities like the Hisho, they have the Hisho affinity, which is in my opinion overpowered, as very overpowered, let's leave it at that. But Automatos is very powerful, but not overpowered. It is what I call balanced, strong but balanced, which I like. Illuminant also have the Tolerant trait, which allows me to cleanse whatever I wish, although with a severe disadvantage until I get the necessary tech. I have Militarists and Builders, which basically means that whatever I want to make, I only have to spend 70% of my industry to make it. Paired out of Automaton affinity, I have the best industry you could imagine, as simple as that. Also have Dust Archaeology, giving me some extra dust at start, and I start on a planet with Haggards, which gives me a nice amount of food production, but a very high disapproval. Now, as for the lore of this faction, Illuminant, I based them off the Dredge, from an animated movie called Titan something something. And Dredge written like D-R-E-J, if I remember correctly. I'm not too sure, but I think that's how they're called. They're basically what inspired me to make this race, which are basically just a race of pure energy that was born in interstellar space. That's right. So they are made of all forms of energy, literally all of them, which actually does include matter, since it is a form of energy, which means that if you were to touch an Illuminant, then you would actually be able to do so if said Illuminant would care to solidify its body enough to be consisted of just enough matter for it to be touchable. I think you're following, I hope you're following. So those guys, since they are made of energy, they are experts at manipulating it, hence the amazing industry, since, energy kinda is industry, as simple as that. Now, however, this race is a peaceful race that, likes to work for people and doesn't really care about war. They like peace, they like technological advancement. Actually, they don't really care about technology. They just like staring at the universe, doing their job. They are made of energy and they like energy, and the universe is full of energy, so they like the universe. However, since I want things to be a little bit more dire for me, I'll play as more devious version of Illuminant. I will maybe not be able to communicate with other races well. Maybe I'll get annoyed at the tiniest little things, like spilling the coffee on my wonderful new suit made of, I don't know, thermal matter or something. So yeah, that's how I'm going to play this game. Now, obviously, I need to set up all other players so that we do not have anybody repeat it, because this game does love to repeat factions when you leave them at random, which is rather annoying, but hey, it does happen. Let's make sure that I have everybody I could have in here, including the Pilgrims, which I will love to murder, and in fact, I almost forgot to include the United Empire. Do you want United Empire or Sheridan, actually? Sheridan has cooler looking ships, so I'll include Sheridan instead of United Empire. And I like what I see. Sheridan playing as the blue faction? That does not happen all that often, so you know what? I'm used to Pilgrims being yellow, but I think for the first time in a long time I'll make them blue. In fact, their original color was supposed to be blue, if I'm not mistaken, so it will kind of fit them, I guess. Anyway, I think we are good to go, but one last thing before I press the start game button. Because I'm not using the alternative galaxy generation mod, it means that this game is only going to use a single core of my computer to generate the galaxy. A rather big galaxy, mind you, so it is going to take a while. So what I will do is I'll pause the recording and then I'll resume it as soon as the game is loaded. So I'll see you in a moment. Okay, I have returned. In fact, I had to generate this galaxy a couple of times because I'm having a horrible luck generating an interesting galaxy, and by interesting galaxy I mean stuff like this. This right here is my good friend horn thingy. I mean, this is some kind of, I don't know, constellation that looks like a horny face. I really kind of like it. Also, horny face sounds wrong on so many levels. But anyway, this galaxy doesn't look the most interesting, but it does have some, I don't know, solar rays. I mean, not solar rays, but solar wind passing through. I guess that's what it is, this violet stuff. I do see some other thing in the background, and, well, and there's my friend Hornface, so, oh, Hornyface. Also, I'm starting on a 6-level system, so that kind of helps, although I'm having some mixed opinions in regards to the system. Granted, it has 6 planets, so no matter what I say, I should not complain, because it is quite frankly amazing. However, there is a tiny asteroid belt and a tiny lava. Tiny planets are kinda hard to exploit, especially when they are already planets like lava planets or asteroid belts, since those generally do not support a large population, which is a problem because I would rather have a big population than not. Then again, I do have 2 lavas, which is nice because when paired up with my jungle, they provide me with a nice amount of industry. I do have helium for a little bit of science, actually quite a lot of science. Desert, I'll probably try to, you know, terraform as soon as possible. However, it does provide me with a decent amount of both dust, because exploiting the desert gives you a lot of dust, and industry because desert by its own does give you a nice amount of dust. Anyway, so I kinda like what I have. It is also a huge desert, so I'm not gonna complain actually. I kinda do really like what I start with. Now, Hellguards, the reason why I decided to start with them is because I am a race of energy beings that was was created, let me say, because I'm failing with the other verb that I was trying to use, in interstellar space. So we're not the biggest experts when it comes to planets. We can't colonize everything because, hey, we pretty much learned to live with the worst conditions imaginable, but since we do not have a lot of experience with planets, we kinda colonize something like this. Looks green, so it is supposed to be nice, right where the Hellguards that are trying to eat us. That's the problem. But honestly, I do love the way this anomaly looks like. I mean, just take a look at this, it's amazing! It absolutely, incredibly, really does look amazing. Anyway, I'm going to start by the standard exploration, Evolved Souls, because your home system does need to have as many population marks, points, whatever you wanna call those things over here, as soon as possible. So you do want to have some extra food early on. Later, I'll probably change it into some industry exploitation, but for now, I do need the food. Obviously, I need to increase the approvalness because Hellguards decrease approval by quite a bit, but I can deal with that later. I also want to rename the system, and I don't know how I want to call it. Let's call it Aircon. Aircon as for, you know, air conditioners, because let's face it, let's be honest, Illuminants are like Korea of the universe. We supply people with air conditioners and smartphones and all the other things that you could not live without. Let's be honest, we couldn't. We couldn't. I couldn't. Without this air conditioner that is in my room, I'll probably die in the next few days. I mean, let's be honest. I'm supposed to be living in an Arctic-like environment, I believe, because everything that is just slightly above 21 degrees, then it is kind of hot for me. I suppose that. Anyway, Virtual Awakening. I have read this text before, so I do not need to go through it again, although it is a pretty amazing text. What heroes did I get? Well, this guy is going to be very nice for commanding my fleet, so I do like this guy. This guy is a mixed bag hero. I mean, he's pretty bad. I hate this kind of heroes because he is a corporate commander, which means that he is supposed to either command a fleet or command or govern a system, and he's good at none of those things. So I dislike this kind of heroes. That's bad. And this guy, why do I always get this guy? I always get the same guy. At least I think I do. He has been in at least one of my playthroughs, maybe even two, now three, which is very annoying because I do hate his face so much. I just want to kill him. But I do need him because he's an administrator, and administrators are very important. They provide you with a nice bonus to industry, to food production, and you do need those things by quite a big amount. I suppose that. Although, when I can, I'll probably fire him because I hate his face. Look at him, he's so ugly. I cannot even stand to look at him, but I guess I'll need to hire him, and in fact, since I started with some extra dust, I can hire him right now. As much as it hurts me to do so, I do need this guy, and now he's going to provide my system with some bonus industry and some bonus food, which is rather important. Actually, can I fit the whole air conditioner? No, I cannot. As I thought, aircon is going to have to be enough. I don't want to do any product endorsement, so I'm not going to go for something like LG or Samsung. This would be a little bit too obvious, wouldn't it? Anyway, what I need to do... No, not here. What I need to do is decrease my tax rates. Because right now my people are not too happy with me. And at early stages of the game, it is essential that you get as much growth as you can get. Which is usually, you know, reached by decreasing your tax rate to a level when the entire empire is fervent. Problem is, I started with a planet that has hair gods. Hair gods provide you with a lot of disapproval. So even if I go for 0% tax rate, my people are only going to be happy, and my overall empire people is only going to be content. Not good enough for me. And in fact, I could not do so because in this game you cannot be bankrupt. You cannot go on negative dust income. I mean, you can go on negative dust income, but you're gonna go below 0. So you have to have tax rate high enough for me to be at least at 0, a net gain of 0 dust at the end of this turn, which is unfortunate because it makes my people unhappy. And if I were to increase it so that I would actually gain dust, then people would be on strike and rebellion across the empire. Rather difficult thing to deal with. But, well, that's what I have to deal with, as simple as that. Rather annoying, but hey, what you gonna do with it? I guess nothing. But I do start with a bunch of ships, which is good. The first thing is I'm going to send my workshop into this yellow sun. It's not a sun, it's a star! You can call it yellow... I don't know. There are plenty names for stars, but sun is not one of them. There is only one sun in the entire galaxy, and it is a star that we are orbiting right now on Earth. And man, it always annoys me. You would have to get used to that if you are new to my channel. Anyway, Scout, let's go to the other system that is nearby. Everything seems to be the yellow sun, which is just here to, you know, annoy me, but that's okay. Also, our system is next to a wormhole, so our location is really not the best. Also, there's no music, which annoys me by quite a bit, but that's okay, I guess. Our location is really not the best. We are in the middle of everything. Which I guess is good because I wanted to have a challenge, and this way I'm going to annoy every AI there is because of border conflicts, but it is going to be a nightmare to try and keep our borders secure. As simple as that. Also, there are a lot of connections to our home system, which is going to be very tricky to keep it safe in this way. Now, what research do I want to start with? Well, hey, get back here, you lazy, cowardly research thingy. Well, I do want to start with soul xenobiology. Simple reasoning, because I do have the tolerant trait, I can colonize everything I want. Obviously, I do want to get those colonization tech, because they will remove the colonization penalty that I would normally get. However, right now the most important thing for me is some extra food, so that's what I'm going to get. And since there is a chance that I might discover something that will, you know, a random event that will give me some extra science, and I don't want to waste the science, so I'll queue up anyway fusion plant right after that. Thank you very much. Also, I did not start next to any random exploration event, which is rather annoying and sad, but hey, I guess we'll go with it. Also, my friend colony face is changing colors. I'm not sure if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but one thing I do know, we're ready to end the 10, and I can drink my juice. If you're new to my channel, then you should get used to that. I love my juice and I love drinking it, so give me a second, I need to drink it. Wow! It is an amazing juice indeed, and I do love it. Anyway, that's the seeing system. Yeah, it does have dust ruins, which is a good anomaly. It really is. I mean, extra happiness and a lot of extra dust. Really great. Problem is, it's a one planet system. Not the best, not at all. And I would rather not colonize it. What is Centaurus? What does it have to offer? Small island with deserted cities. Deserted cities are a really good anomaly that you always want to get, quite simply because it gives you more population, which is very useful. It is like the best thing you can get from an anomaly, in my honest opinion, and it also gives you some extra, you know, productivity, I mean industry and science, which is also good, especially since arids are not the best places to get science from. Also, the system has some tundras and an Arctic, so I guess it is an all-around good system. This tundra also has hydropelagic life, or whatever you're supposed to call it, which is, I guess, a good thing, so I'd rather colonize it instead of this ying pathetic system. Also, I could risk it and try and explore those two, not suns but stars, but honestly, I don't think like risking it. Centaurus is probably going to be good enough for me. It would take me forever to reach it, but hey, we'll go with that. Also, I can end at 10, but first of all, I want to scrap all those ship designs. I'm sorry, because quite frankly, I do hate those custom names. I mean, the names that you start with. And I would much rather have my own names, which I have not thought through about. I mean, that's quite annoying. What kind of name do I want? I need some witty names. Last time I had pretty cool, well-thought names, so now I need something as well. Give me a moment, I will need to be right back. Alright, I have returned, and I decided that I want to name all of my ships after a form of energy, so my expansion ship is going to be called Luminous. Reason being, I don't know, something about breeding and colonizing new worlds sounds luminous to me, and also luminosity is the way we see others, the way we see Illuminant, and we are Illuminant. So Luminous is representing Illuminants, thus it is a civilian ship that has Illuminant on it. I think it makes sense, somewhere in the darkness of my sick mind. Also, I renamed my home system to Matrix, as in Energy Matrix, because quite frankly it sounds better than Aircon. I don't know why, I think Matrix sounds better, as simple as that. I like Matrix, Matrix is cool. Anyway, what I want to do after I have evolved souls, well, there isn't much I can do, so I guess I'll just queue up some industry to science conversion, but I will soon change it into something real. By real, I mean manly thing, aka construction, instead of not construction. Righty then, I am waiting for the 10 to end, and now, finally I have the exploitation, which means that my food production has been increased by a decent amount. One thing that is holding me back by quite a bit is the fact that my people are still very unhappy, and this is really making them not likely to reproduce at a fast rate, because when you are unhappy apparently you don't want to reproduce. Sad but true, I guess this is how it goes. Anyway, my soil xenobiology is close to being finished, which is very good. Then I'll actually be able to start production of sustainable farms, something very important, especially when I have this low approval. And then I can also start working on this not science but production thingy. Also, I do know that I will need to colonize Arids at some point in time, so I will schedule the tech for that. And my turn, the first few turns of Endless Space are always kinda slow, still much faster than in most 4X games, maybe except for Hegemony, but even that was kinda slow at the start. But, you know, I still like it very much, and the fact... Wait, why did my voice change? What happened? Alright, now it is back, strange. But still, with its Cold War mechanic, Endless Space is still much faster than other 4X games, in my opinion, and +1 XP on Fleet. Thank you, thank you. Also, Ceres. Not a very good system. It does have high product. Actually, it doesn't. It's a hydrogen gas giant, not a methane gas giant. And it is irradiated to make it even cooler. It isn't cool, not at all. Alright. I'm really kinda confused as to where am I, because so far each and every time I played in this galaxy, I was closer to a border of the galaxy, and I knew that if I go in the outwards direction, so for example right over here somewhere, then I would have a bunch of systems that only I can get to, at least in the early game, and grab for my own. But I'm in the middle of everything. I don't know where I should go to grab my own personal systems, and I don't know what to do. Which I guess is good, because I need a challenge. I already have proven that I can beat the game on Endless, so apparently I do need a challenge. Which, you know what, I'm all up for that. I like the challenge. The challenge is good. It makes you trying to improve in various things and stuff like that. Now, because I have extra population, I get more dust income, because hey, we start on a jungle planet which does generate 2 dust per population, and although sustainable farms is going to, you know, eat quite a bit of my dust, for now I can lower my tax rate and actually have it be at content level, which is far better than at unhappy, because this way people are actually going to produce food and industry at a reasonably decent rate. Anyway, let us end the turn. Music is back, that's good. One complaint, a very small complaint granted, that I have about this game is that there is now continuous music option, which I would appreciate by quite a bit, since this game does occasionally have those moments when it is quiet, and I would rather it not be quiet. Anyway, I did discover what it looks like. Yeah, +20 science, that is a lot of science, and that's why I already queued up some extra, you know, discoveries. Already have anyway fusion plants and almost at epigenetics level. Very nice random exploitation event to have. I really do like this one by quite a bit. Now, what do I want to go for next? It depends. Is a small level with other rings. Another one planet system so funny. Not really, it's not funny at all. But anyway, what do I want? Well, actually, now that I think of it, maybe it would be a better idea to colonize Tundra instead of Arid. Of course, it is too late, since I already started my research on Arid, but now that I think of it, since this planet has this anomaly that gives it extra food, then it would probably be better, because it would make people, you know, populate the system faster than deserted cities would. So it was a small mistake on my part, but now I cannot really fix it in time, since my ship will reach its destination within just a single turn. Right, what do I want to go for next? I do want to have some extra approval, but this will take forever and it's really not on the top list of my priorities just yet. So what I will go for is Xenology, maybe, in case I discover any of those luxury resources. Why not? Also, Xenotrails Aegis is very important in early games, since sometimes you might run into budget deficit, especially with a race that starts on hairguts. Anyway, titanium. I have access to titanium from the get-go, and it is on my home planet. Wow, I am very lucky. As you can clearly see, it does increase the industry on my home planet, which is a huge deal, especially since I play on a jungle system. Very, very, very nice, if I may say so myself. And I do say so myself. Anyway, let me end the turn. Everything is going milky jelly. I don't know what milky jelly means, but that's exactly what is happening right now. And I forgot I'm playing as the automatons! How stupid can I be? People are gonna rage at me for that. This is totally not how you're supposed to play the automatons. It has been a while, so I forgot, but what I do, But what I do right now, just having my upgrades constantly in production queue, is completely the wrong way, and I'll show to you why in the next 10 when it will be more clear. Still, I cannot believe I can be this dumb. It is actually quite frankly horrible, and I just realized I'm tolerant, so I can colonize everything. It's just that I'll get penalty for colonizing Tundra, but next 10 I will get rid of this penalty, so actually next 2 10s because I queued these things wrongly, but still in the next 2 10s I'll get rid of this penalty, which means that everything will be just jelly, fishy, amazing. So what I'm going to do is not queue anything up on this system. This matrix system, well, it already has heavy asset refineries almost done, so I might as well leave it, I guess. But that's totally not what you're supposed to do. I'll show you what you need to do in a moment, I guess. Can I lower my tax rate? I can, but it will not give me anything. So I will keep it at 30% so that now I can also gain some dust. Alright, I'm going to end the 10, and what you will see is this. A yellow bar appeared on my systems. What this is the automaton affinity that I'm using with my custom race. It is called the overproduction. So my systems, since they were idle at the end of next 10, they had more industry than they used, they stack this industry. And they can stack this industry up to 5 times of maximum industry that you can get within a single 10. After these 5 10s, you will not be able to stack any more industry. But what you can do with the stacked industry? Well, first of all, you can use it. Other races have to use all their industry within the 10 that they gain it all the next 10. Otherwise, they lose it. However, the automats not only have 5 turns to wait with for whatever, I used the wrong grammar there, but that doesn't matter, but also automatons get bonuses whenever they get a large amount of industry stacked. So as you can see, it says plus 5% interest for stacked industry and system. So to put it simply, if I have a lot of industry stacked, then it is actually bigger than I would normally have. So if I stack industry and only use it occasionally to make some stuff, then it will be more efficient than, you know, making everything at whenever I actually have free production queue. Which is a big deal, and I should abuse it to the max, but I forgot. I'm sorry, it happens. Anyway, have I ever recorded this wonder? I don't think I have. I don't even remember it all that well, so I'm gonna read it out to you. At a best guess, it will be over 500 years before scientists discover why the aliens built the structure, and several thousand before it can be replicated. Fixed at a certain distance from a selected wormhole, it apparently drops and retrieves probes that pass from one side of a wormhole, but do not come out on the other side. Where the probes go and what they learn is not currently comprehensible. Alright, so this sounds like a pretty amazing wonder. I don't remember what it does. You do need to restore this wonder to be active again, rather. But in order for me to know what I need to do to restore it, I would have to colonize the system, which obviously I did not do just yet. But I already know that this structure looks pretty neat. As simple as that. Anyway, production on matrix is done. I know this, and this area seems like a nice area. Kinda separated from the rest of the galaxy. Granted, those systems are pretty rubbish, only 2 planets per system, very bad, but I did start at a 6-planet system, so I should not really complain all that much. Here is a Unit Director. This gives me access to Minister of Propaganda, a very important trait for a hero that is governing a planet with guards. Really very important. Also, next 10, I will have stagnation, because I will use up all of the population max on this jungle, so I will indeed need to expand to a different planet. Probably a desert, because it is the least hostile planet I have in my home system, which means that I need to prepare for colonizing deserts. Which is a problem because sustainability, the tech that allows you to colonize deserts, does take up quite a big amount of size. Obviously I can colonize no matter what because I have the tolerant trait, but this is going to decrease my fleets by 50%, which is a big amount in case you were wondering. Anyway, I think everything is going good. I am losing dust unfortunately because of the upgrades I have just gotten, But I can keep this up for 1 turn, actually 2 turns, and then I'll have to stop. So for now, I'll leave it like that, I guess. Okay, sounds about right. Then I will want to make some more colonization ships and more scout ships, but this will wait, as simple as that. Now, where is my juice? Actually, did I drink it all? Yes, I have. That is rather unfortunate. I do have a different juice. This is the juice that my mom drank recently, but it's not the kind of juice that I really like. I mean, it's only made from a single fruit, and I don't even care what kind of fruit it is. If it is a juice of a single fruit, then it usually is not exactly what I enjoy, unless it's strawberries, I guess. Maybe. But I don't know. It is not strawberries though. Yeah, this juice, it's okay, but nowhere near as good as the one that I always drink, sadly. Anyway, plus 20 dust, very good! Because this will actually allow me to decrease my tax rate by a quantity large enough to actually make my empire not go further anyway. Yeah, but what I can do is sustain the loss of 1 dust per turn for quite a long time and not even worry about it, which is quite frankly amazing, and I am happy about that. Also, this system not the best, although ancient ruins are a very nice anomaly, so it is a decent system, and it is also really separated from the rest of the galaxy, so I like what I see. This of the constellation seems to be, you know, quite secure and easy to defend, which is what I like. Also, I did not rename this system, and I would like to do so. I recently started renaming my systems in multiplayer in a way that makes sense. So what is there on this system? Does it have cities, so hub to genetic life? Overall, a mixed bag of a system. You can have everything. So how do I call this system? I guess I would just call it, I don't know, ruins. Because there are ruins on the system. Not the most imaginative name, but it will give me an idea of what this is, and I'm most likely going to remember this now. Also, you just say you need this exploitation. It's still going to take 3 turns, so I will wait a little bit longer until I have more industry stacked. As for you, Matrix, how long will it take for you to create a Luminous? You can do it within a single turn. Oh wait, that's this playback. It does happen from time to time. It is annoying, but it does, as I said, it does happen. So how much industry? It takes only 56.7 industry to make this luminous thingy, so I can make it and not use up all my stacked industry, and it will be good enough. So let us do just that. I'll have another expansion ship, and I will send it to one of those 2 stars, probably this one first, just to discover what is in there. Let's finish my turn. I need to start thinking about creating a military, because as I promised, if I discover any other race, before actually getting this update, relativistic economics, then I will declare war for no reason, because I'll pretend like I cannot communicate with them, and we know that communication is key to usually peace, but in this game's sense, Cold War. And since I cannot communicate with those guys, I just fight them. As simple as that. Understanding is the key to forgiveness. And I don't know, I'm just trying to make some sense out of this situation, which there is not a lot of, but it is important that the game is a little bit more tricky for me, as simple as that. Alright, I have stacked quite a bit of industry in the system. Can I now get some exploitation? Not quite yet. I'll wait 1 more turn, and then I will actually be able to get this exploitation within a single turn anyway, and still have some extra industry from the stackation bonus. That's a new word I just invented. Alright, what do I want after sustainability? Probably something related to military, so I might start thinking about those things. But I also need isolation shields, because science is very important, and this update is very cheap, but it also gives you a lot of science, so I need it, as simple as that. Then I guess I'll start, since I do have titanium from the get-go, I will start with missiles, but what I thought could be cool is to actually not focus on a single weapon type. No. I will instead use all weapon types on all of my ships. Obviously, it is going to be horribly inefficient, but you know what? It is going to be interesting. And if anything, I like vehicle! I like vehicle! Also, fun fact, Dust Nebula. In all my games, I get Dust Nebula. In all of my games, and I'm not even kidding. I mean, I do not always control it, but I'm yet to play a game without a Dust Nebula. Ever since it was introduced into the game, I always find it somewhere. Which is rather funny, but you know, I will not complain for some reason. Anyway, this system is amazing! Incredible for dust production because A, Dust Nebula, it gives you a huge amount of dust. B, it has loads of deserts and an arid, which are great for dust production. It also has Arctic and Tundra for science and industry respectively. But other than that, incredible for dust. Meteor strikes are decent for production once you get rid of the negative effects. Robot locals, amazing for production. Again, long season is just straight up bad, so yeah, nothing too good about that. Metallic waters, really a nice anomaly, and corrosive soil, a pretty bad anomaly. Overall, however, after I remove the anomalies and get some decent updates on the system, this system is going to be quite literally amazing, and it's just a no-brainer to colonize it. What do I start with? Dust, huge tundra? Is there anything that increases my food production? Let me see. I don't see any anomaly that gives me more food production, so I'll go for Dust Nebula. Dust Nebula, very good, very important. Some extra dust is always very useful, especially for people like me. So now I get a ton of dust and I can do this. Actually, I cannot. But I can go for pretty ridiculous amounts, and having my colonies at ecstatic level is very good. This will make them actually reach a decent level of advancement very quickly, which is something that I definitely do need and or like. So how do we code this? Well, in the same way I code system of Dust Nebula in my multiplayer game. Dust silos. Because that's essentially what this system is. It is a giant system filled with dust. As simple as that. So Dust silos is a pretty good name for the system, I believe. I believe I can fly, and no, don't worry, I will not sing. And if I will sing, then I will sing some better songs, quite frankly, which probably means songs from Sonic Day, also known as Girls' Generation, which I'm a huge fan of, if you do not know, but you probably do know if you are following me. I mean, if you are subscribed to my channel. Anyway, another luminous ship, just to, you know, be able to expand further, maybe discover what is in there, or whatever. It's not the sun! It might be white, but it's not the sun! Whatever. Whatever. And also, I'm making more of those luminous ships, making sure that my main home system is not stagnating, which is important. I do need to colonize this desert at some point, but I can wait for a little bit longer. I'm not really in a rush or hurry, but I do want to colonize some more systems and scout a little bit more as well. Alright, this cast is so far an hour and 15 minutes long. At least that's what the timer says to me. Usually my casts are not going to be this long, but I tend to make my first cast of a new playthrough a rather lengthy one, just because it is a nice thing to do, I believe. It is giving you a nice perspective of things that might come, and I don't know, I like making my first casts long. Also, man, if I were to sacrifice 5 dust per 10, then I could actually have my empire at fervent approval. But alas, I do need this dust, and I would like to actually start accumulating bigger amounts of it, so let's go for the highest amount of tax rate that will still make my people happy, but it also gives me a nice amount of dust. So let's go for something like this. And are those pirates? No, I'm just imagining things. Keep in mind though, pirates are set to insane difficulty level, so there's going to be plenty of them around, well, everywhere, I suppose that. Right, Eurydice, continue moving forward. Eurydice, still have no exploitation, which is a mistake on my part, because you definitely have stockpiled enough industry to have some kind of exploitation. But oh well, as I said, my mistake, not a very big one, it's not going to cost me too much. Also, this improvement, exogenous agencies, very useful. Very useful, because now, as I said, I can have even lower tax rates than I usually would. Let us entertain again. There was also something else I wanted to mention to all the newcomers that might watch my video for the first time. Well, first of all, if you managed to stick for this long, then I'm very happy, because maybe you actually like what you see, which makes me very happy. But I honestly don't remember what else I wanted to say. Something, but I don't remember what, which is very annoying. Anyway, dust silos. It is stockpiling on a lot of industry quite quickly, but that's because it is a tundra. Actually, tundra is horrible when it comes to industry, my mistake. So never mind, but yeah, it is horrible when it comes to industry. So how long till I can get alien graphing? Well, I can get it in the next 10, which is, I guess, good enough. Ruins this, I don't think I need to do anything with this system right now. It only has 9 industry stacked. Matrix, on the other hand, yes please, have some public-private partnerships. And why not, let's colonize this desert already. Because, hey, why not? Although it is going to make my approval even lower than it is, so instead let us make just one more luminous ship, and then I will consider colonizing the desert. Sounds like a plan. Let us end the turn again. Still have not met anyone, but I guess, well, it happens. Usually by 10 or 12, you do meet someone, but I guess it is good for me. I'm not yet ready to fight anybody, and this could end badly for me, as simple as that. Anyway, I discovered some great experience on a colonization ship. That's not what I needed. A decent system, only 2 planets, but arid and tundra, it's good. Also positive anomaly, also good, but first of all, I'll explore just a little bit more in case this system is even better. Also, my other luminous ship, you're going to go in this general direction to make sure that I see more stuff, and I have finished all of my science that I queued up. Rather surprising. Okay, let's go for coal mining to see where Hyperium is, because Hyperium is important. Actually, let's first of all get the, how's it called, advanced magnetics drive, because I do want to have some more movement speed. It is very important. Then I could cheat and just go for xenolinguists right away, so that I do not have to declare war on other people, but it would be kinda cheaty, wouldn't it? Instead, what I would probably go for is try to achieve the applied Casimir effect quickly, so that I can explore what is behind this wormhole, because it is kind of worrying me, I will be honest. It is. Anyway, advanced machining is done, that's good. Matrix is good. Can it construct anything else? No, it cannot. In a single turn, it will have an additional citizen though, which is nice. And then I'll actually colonize the desert. So let us end the turn. Man, it is actually getting quite dark in my room. I have not realized that I have been recording for this long, which I guess is good. I guess it is good. Alright, compact fusion reactors are ready, which means that my ships can move this fast. Pukers! Oh boy, what a coincidence! I promised I would declare war on the first faction I see. What is the first faction I see? The Pilgrims. Non c'è mi afsa, man afsa. Run, Pilgrim, Pilgrim, run, run! Alright, then that was quick. Sorry, I had to sing a little bit of Rendezvous Run because it just fits the situation so well. I also cannot believe my luck. This is very happy and very funny as well. Alright, there are a lot of pilgrim ships nearby, but those are just scouts, I'm pretty sure. I do not see any expansion ships just yet, which is good. They're not going to steal any assistance from me. Octans, is it a good place to colonize? Well, huge arid with hollow planet is nice. Also, it will be a nice border between me and the pilgrims. They will not try to colonize past it, so let's colonize it. Actually, it's just a scout! No! My mistake. But I do want to get here ASAP. So first of all, let's send the scout in this general direction. Let's get another luminous ship because as I said, I do want to get to Octans. Kratz! Mutated flora on a lava planet. It really has to be a mutated flora if it survived. And also, metallic crowned gas giant. Someone explain to me how this works. Now, I do love it when LS Space is funny like this. It is just genuinely funny, and I like when things are funny. Anyway, Dust Silos is almost maxed out in industry. That's good. Let's go for alien graphing then. Can I also get something? No, never mind. I cannot go for anything else, but ruins! They are in fact stagnated already, so let's colonize this arid planet. And can I also get maybe some more food production? Well, if I spend some dust, then indeed I can, but I would rather save this dust for dust silos, because this is the system I care about the most. Alright then, I am almost ready to design a ship, a warship, but I think I'll do this off camera, or maybe at the start of a new cast, rather. Because this video is quite long, it is almost an hour and a half long, in fact. And yeah, I know that the piglets hate me just like I hate them. And no! Not the pirates! Why? Wait, the pirates are annoying because they will make me unable to colonize this thing. It's not the best system, but they also make me unable to see what is in those systems. So what I will have to do is just go into automatic battle and pick retreat card. And my ship will unfortunately probably return to Ying, which is very annoying because that's not where I want it, but that's where it will go regardless. Alright, let's send Luminous to Octans, because as I said, I want the system. Ulysses almost made it to something. Ruins have recently colonized a new planet. Do they have any stacked industry? No, they have an exact 0 amount, which is sad, but it will not take long for them to recharge. Matrix, I could start creating a war fleet, but I might as well wait for one more 10 and then start the rampage, which is exactly what I'm going to do. Also, since I already fulfilled my promise, you know what, I'm gonna continue with commanding, but then I would rather not declare war on any other factions. In fact, I'm gonna speed this up so that I don't have to fight anybody else. As simple as that. And I think this will be it for this cast. I'll end the 10 because everybody gets a free move after you load a game. It's a bug that is annoying, so yeah. Yeah. Actually, it doesn't matter when I end the 10. Whatever, I'm gonna end the 10 and end my outro. It was PANCZASU, the mighty mix spammer. If you somehow managed to enjoy my videocast, then please like it. Maybe even subscribe to my channel if you wish to see more. Also, that's a Pilgrim's Home system. But anyway, also, please do leave a comment, because comments help me greatly and I do really love reading them. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you online.